Manchester United are plotting a move for Ivan Toney. Yes, that is right. Various papers, outlets, reporters, journalists are coming out saying Ivan Toney could be on his way to Manchester United. We're going to break down last night's win, Real Betis 2, Manchester United 3. We're going to talk about Lenny Yoro's injury, Rasmus Højlund's injury, Marcus Rashford, Ugarte, and much, much more. Make sure you go down, drop a like if you haven't already. You know the like game is incredibly strong on this channel, hitting 1,000 likes now most videos. So go down, drop a like. And the road to 20,000 subscribers is well and truly on. We only hit 16,000 yesterday, and now we're nearly at 16,500. So if you haven't already and you enjoy the content, please do go down, hit that subscribe button. Now, obviously, last night, Manchester United played and they won 3-2 against Real Betis. A penalty from Rashford, Diallo, masterclass, Casemiro. And United looked relatively good, to be fair. It was a pretty strong win in a game which they had more shots on target, more final third passes. They made a lot of changes again. They made 11 or 10 subs. They didn't have their starting centre-backs, didn't have their starting left-back. They didn't really have Bruno Fernandes in there. They had Jadon Sancho starting in the 9. They brought on, Mason Mount, Johnny Evans, Wheatley, a lot of the kids, but they still went out and got the win. And it's, that's now 2 relatively good performances on the back. The performance against Arsenal, I thought, was a lot better than they were given credit. I think the first half they were really in the game, and then when they made the changes and brought a lot of the kids on, it was a completely different game for Manchester United. But obviously, the breaking news coming out last night and this morning regarding Højlund and Lenny Yoro. Now, you've got to feel for Yoro. You have to feel for him. Just signed as a Manchester United player, finally gets his move. Been injured 8 days in his entire career, and now he's out for, I believe, up to 3 months. That is a bit of a kick in the teeth. Romano put out a tweet regarding it, and it said Rashford down in pain, also subbed off for Manchester United. One more potential injury to check after Lenny Yoro, who's out for 3 months, and Rasmus Højlund is out for 6 weeks as a minimum. And now today, because of that Højlund injury, Manchester United have been heavily linked with Ivan Toney, as you can see from the horse's mouth. Rashford was down in pain, also subbed off. One more potential injury to check out. Lenny Yoro, him being injured, I expect Man United now to really step up the talks for the likes of Matthijs de Ligt. And I also think, I don't necessarily know if they're going to bring a striker in for, they've just bought Obi from Arsenal. In the first kind of 6-7 weeks, that would mean realistically he would be out injured until, the middle of September, probably fit by the end of September, which means he's going to miss the Crystal Palace game, the Liverpool game, Brighton, Fulham, and going to miss the Charity Shield, which is very important start to the season for Man United. He probably will be fit for the Tottenham game. But with regards to Lenny Yoro, he's probably not going to be fit until the end of October, maybe early November. So he's going to miss West Ham game in October, Villa, Brentford, Chelsea. Plus the Europa League starts relatively early. There's 8 group stage games. The format of the competition has changed slightly in the sense that now it's rather than having 4 games in a group, it's kind of like a league format. So it'd be interesting to see if they bring in de Ligt. I think they will bring in de Ligt very, very, very soon. Another bit of news coming out regarding Manchester United is regarding Scott McTominay. Now, breaking news an hour ago, Fulham have submitted a new bid for Scott McTominay in excess of £20 million, expected to be rejected. Manchester United would be open to selling for a fee close to £30 million. And obviously, Scott McTominay is an academy graduate. He is going to, if he is sold, it will be 100% profit for Manchester United. And in that midfield option, they're looking at Ugarte, bringing him in. They've also been linked heavily with Amrabat. You've got the likes of Mason Mount. Casemiro scored yesterday. Maybe he sticks around. I think Casemiro probably will join a Saudi Arabian club. And I think United, if they get a relatively good fee, are not in a position to turn that down. Scott McTominay, however, if they do, I reckon Fulham going for one last bid at around the £25 million, and the add-ons take the deal up to the £30 million mark, which is what they want. For me, that's a good signing for Fulham. For Scott McTominay, for him, it's all about getting first-team football. It's all about starting as many games as possible. Fulham have signed the likes of Emil Smith-Rowe, and they are looking at a few more players. Marco Silva wants to improve that side heavily. So it'll be very, very interesting to see what happens with regards to Scott McTominay. Now, I want to talk about Ivan Toney because there's a lot of transfer news linking him to Manchester United. And it says, which was earlier today from the Standard, that Manchester United are eyeing up a move for Ivan Toney after Rasmus Højlund's injury. Now, he's injured for around 6 to 7 weeks. I don't necessarily know if Man United go out there and sign Ivan Toney. He's available for £40 million. He is, of course, homegrown. We all know his qualities. He's very, very good finisher, elite, hold-up play, great penalty taker. He ticks a lot of the boxes. But the Manchester United, when Højlund's fit, it's very unusual now for a team to have 3 strikers. If they've got an opportunity to have Xerxes, Højlund, and Toney, I think they need more players out wide personally. I think Toney probably should have been done before they signed Xerxes. But, Man United want this Dutch revolution to continue. And it says, Manchester United plots... Oh, there's an advert. I mean, these adverts are just always in the way. Manchester United plot Ivan Toney move after Rasmus Højlund injury. Manchester United want to bring another striker following the injury to Rasmus Højlund. Højlund has been sidelined for 6 weeks with a hamstring injury, and Erik ten Hag could now push for Brentford's Ivan Toney, with unproven Joshua Xerxes their only front man. Toney is expected to leave Brentford, but the Bees could up their asking price after seeing summer signing Thiago ruled out for the remainder of 2024 through injury. Also, what's worth talking about as well, Marcus Rashford. If that injury is significant, then Manchester United are going to have I don't know who's going to be starting in their front line. If Rashford's out, Højlund's out, Jadon Sancho's being linked to a move away, your front three is probably going to be Garnacho, Xerxes, and maybe Diallo, who looked very good yesterday. That's probably going to be their front three. Now, Brentford are not in a position where they have to sell. That, of course, there's only a year left on his contract. There is no secret that Ivan Toney does want the move. In terms of Manchester United in general, I look at them right now and I think if Man United get one more wide player out into their team and get rid of an Anthony, I think Man United will have a much better balance in their forward line. Scott McTominay is being linked to move away. Lindelof's being linked to move away. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is on the verge of joining West Ham. Christian Eriksen's being linked to move away. Casemiro. Man United are still going to have probably 8 or 9 more players to leave the football club or come in the coming weeks, in my opinion. Because when I look at Manchester United, they're in 4 competitions. They are in the driving seat for Ugarte and De Ligt. They've got a game against Liverpool in 3 days' time. And before you know it, The Community Shield is in 9 days' time. Manchester United versus Manchester City. So far, City have only signed one player. So far, Manchester United have only signed a couple of players. There's still a long way to go in this transfer window for me. Let me know your thoughts down below if you haven't already. Make sure you drop a like, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching. I am